Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to coverage of Audubon Green Wave Baseball here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We've got a good one today here between the Haddonfield Bulldawgs and the Audubon Green Wave from Hank Greenberg Field right here on the corners of Walnut and Hampshire, as we've got a beautiful afternoon, although it is a little bit hot outside and a bit of a scorcher at that, and some fruit flies and bugs going around the area, but still, this is a wonderful matchup here in the Colonial Liberty Division, as both teams today going in looking to knock down the number 1 seed in that division, Haddon Heights. Haddonfield is third in the division, 11-4, and they're 3-3 in divisional play. Audubon is 14-5, yet they are 4-2 in divisional play this year. They lost to Paulsboro on Tuesday for the first time in over 15 years. And I say that because I only have scheduling stats back to 2008. Anything before that, I don't know. So they could have been going on a 20 to 25 year streak for all I know. But Paulsboro was victorious on Tuesday. Yesterday was a DWB feature game between the Maple Shade Wildcats and the Pittman Panthers, where Kyle Kubat hit his first career high school home run, and Pittman won 12-2 in 5 innings, including the 100th career hit for Pittman junior Stephen Devaney. For the Green Wave today, let's take a look at starting lineups, starting with Haddonfield's Bulldawgs, is coached by Justin Singleton. Ian Talty is the first baseman, batting leadoff. Bruce Parker is the shortstop, batting second. Nick Turnage is the right fielder, batting third. Julian Butler Galliera is the third baseman, batting cleanup. Joey Tedeschi is the left fielder, batting fifth. Adam Ross is the center fielder, batting sixth. Declan McCarthy is the DH, batting seventh. Griffin Clark is the catcher, batting eighth. And Leo Nelson is the second baseman, batting ninth. Dane Sammartino is the pitcher for the Bulldogs, but he is not in the order. For the Audubon Green Wave, as coached by Rich Horan, it is Tyler Wiltsey at shortstop, batting leadoff. Ryan Zimmer behind the plate, batting second. Scott Lynch is the first baseman, batting third. Charlie Grady is the left fielder, batting cleanup. Trent Bennell is the right fielder, batting fifth. Jack Dempsey is the second baseman, batting sixth. Joey Slavin is the DH, batting seventh. Nick Caladros is the third baseman, batting eighth. And Charlie Copsetta is the center fielder, batting ninth. Gabe McCracken is going to be pitching today for the Green Wave. He'll be making his first start since Collingswood back on April 11th, 2022, last year. In that chaotic 14-12 game, he threw his first 2 innings of varsity ball. He gets the start today. Coaches and captains and umpires meeting at home plate will direct our attention to the field, and we'll go into a quick break before first pitch and more here from Hank Greenberg Field, Haddonfield, and Audubon coming up next. Green Wave taking the field this afternoon for a Colonial Liberty clash between the Haddonfield Bulldogs and the Audubon Green Wave. We have ourselves a beautiful afternoon, even with all the mosquitoes flying around, for some Thursday afternoon baseball. Gabe McCracken is the starter for Audubon this afternoon as he gets his little bit of a spot start, his 15 minutes of fame here versus the Bulldawgs, as his last start was in April of last year versus Collingswood in that 14-12 game. But he will try to do a little bit of vengeance after that game last year, as he's been a very serviceable reliever in 2023 for the Green Wave. The sophomore right-hander goes into this appearance with 13 1/3 innings under his belt and no earned runs allowed. He has 3 unearned runs allowed, 2 of them versus Timber Creek and 1 versus Buna in a 5-0 loss, but that was inherited after an error by Audubon allowed the run to score. This is his 5th appearance of the year, pitched 3 1/3 in relief versus Kingsway in a huge part of that 7-6 comeback win in April. So it was only a matter of time before he got his day as the starter, and we're going to see him in his best form, hopefully, this afternoon versus Haddonfield. For the Bulldogs, let's go over the starting lineup one more time. It's Ian Talty, the first baseman, batting leadoff for the Bulldogs, as coached by Justin Singleton. Bruce Parker is the shortstop, batting second. Nick Turnage is the right fielder, batting third. Julian Butler Galliera is the third baseman, batting fourth. Joey Tedeschi is the left fielder, batting fifth. Adam Ross is the center fielder, batting sixth. Declan McCarthy is the DH, batting seventh. Griffin Clark is the catcher, batting eighth, and Leo Nelson is the second baseman, batting ninth. Dane Sammartino on the hill for Haddonfield this afternoon, but we started off with Ian Talty versus the sophomore Gabe McCracken. He kicks and deals, and we are underway with a strike right down Broadway, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Another one. 0-2. I don't know if you've noticed this, but compared to last year, I mean, look at this pitch from McCracken right here as he's about to throw it. His velocity has been ramped up so much from last year into this year. He's trained a lot in the offseason. I got to see him pitch a couple of times in the winter workouts, and he really did an excellent job of being able to ramp up his velocity. And he's reaching low 80s, 82, 83 as a sophomore, which means that he could potentially get to high 80s, maybe even 90 miles an hour by the end of his high school career, which, as somebody who is probably going to end up being a PO or a pitcher only in high school, your velocity matters. Here's a line drive into right field, and Talty's going to have a foul ball. It'll roll over towards the construction zone down there. Still 0-2 to Talty. No DWB broadcast on Friday. It was supposed to be Camden Catholic and Cherry Hill West, but that has been canceled due to the Diamond Classic on Saturday. And here's a grounder right back to Gabe. Throw to first is in time, and there's one away. First out of the ball game. Talty is retired on a 1-3 ground out, bringing up Bruce Parker, the shortstop. Haddonfield 11-4 on the campaign, as they've placed themselves pretty snugly in third in the Colonial Liberty Division, which has also consisted of Sterling, Paulsboro, and West Deptford. There was the swap in the offseason that sent Collingswood to the lower Patriot Division and gave Paulsboro a leg up in the division that is mostly comprised of larger schools. But one of the things that I think people don't realize about the Colonial Conference is that it is the smallest conference in all of New Jersey out of the 15 conferences for baseball. There's a lot of conferences in North Jersey that are based off of counties, like there's the GMC, which is the Greater Middlesex Conference. There's the UCC, which is the Union County Conference. There's one for Essex, there's one for Warren County. All the way up in North Jersey, it's usually sorted by counties. And down south, we have the Tri-County Conference, which is comprised of Salem County, Cumberland County, and also Gloucester County as well. There's BCSL, which is Burlington County, but the Colonial Conference is pretty much all Camden County. Count is full to Parker. Here's pitch. That's going to be a walk. So after the original ground out to start this game, Parker's going to get a free base here to bring up Nick Turnage, the right fielder.
Is this the first time we're facing Haddonfield this season?
No, because Audubon has to play, all Colonial Conference opponents have to play opponents in their division twice. So we played Haddonfield. I mean, you were there to produce that game. That was the second game of the year. There's a line drive in the right field. Base hit Turnage. Stopping at second base will be Parker, and that puts 2 runners on with 1 away for Butler Galliera. Cleanup man for Haddonfield. No, but Audubon has to play all of their divisional opponents twice. So that's Haddon Heights, Haddonfield, West Deptford, Sterling, and Paulsboro. They've already knocked out Sterling twice. They are playing, they've already played Paulsboro twice. This is their second game against Haddonfield. And that's the only divisional opponent that I'm aware of that they've played all of their games against that they have to. The last game of the regular season for Audubon is on the 18th versus Sterling. They play Haddon Heights the day before, which will be Audubon's senior day on the 17th. Here's a ground ball, and running at third and getting over to first. That's going to be a 5-3 double play. Haddonfield tried to steal a base, but the ball was hit in play at the worst possible time. Haddonfield leaves 2 on. We go to the bottom of the first, no score. Here in the bottom of the first, Dane Sammartino, the starter this afternoon for Haddonfield. He's been elite in his senior campaign, a 0.49 ERA, just 2 earned runs allowed in 28 1/3 innings. As I think the key today for Audubon is going to be plate discipline. He has only walked 12 batters all year. He walked 20 in his junior year and 12 in his sophomore campaign in 2021. But that's going to be 2-0 to the leadoff man, Tyler Wiltsey. This is his 7th appearance of the season, pitched 5 1/3 on opening day versus Haddon Heights, 4 versus Sterling, 5 versus Robbinsville, 4 versus Gateway, 5 versus Northern Burlington, and 5 versus Collinswood. And that's going to make it 3-0. And that's what you need to do when you've allowed 2 earned runs all year, 1 versus Gateway and 1 versus Northern Burlington. In his first 3 starts of the year, he didn't allow a single earned run versus Heights, Sterling, or Robbinsville, as that's going to be a 4-pitch walk to Tyler Wiltsey, bringing up Zimmer here. But I think it's important to know, I mean, Audubon has hit well off of very good starters before, and I'm not going to be one of those, one of those homers that's like, oh, we can hit off this guy easily. No, he's got a 0.49 ERA. What do you think I'm going to say? He's a good pitcher. He's a very good pitcher, and he's probably going to do well at the next level. I don't know where he's going to play, but wherever he chooses to go, he's probably going to be a good pitcher because his 0.49 ERA in high school is a little bit insane. And the lowest ERA in all of the Colonial Conference among eligible pitchers last year was 1.56, which was John Perossi's ERA in 2022 for the Green Wave. John DiCostanzo and Sean Driscoll followed him, but they all graduated, so they need somebody else as the ERA king in 2023. It's 1-1 to Zimmer, runner on first for the Green Wave here. Just getting started in the bottom of the first in Audubon. Throw over, skipped away from the first baseman Talty, and it'll roll out towards Leo Nelson, but they're able to corral that one back in. That was a bit of a weird carom. Oh no, Wiltsey's hurt. Liam Corbell's coming out, and I think Wiltsey got hit with the pickoff throw, which is why it took such a weird bounce. He is lying face down. I didn't get the throw, no, but the ball took a weird bounce off of the bag, and I thought it might have just hit the glove, but I think it might have hit Wiltsey.
That would explain the weird bounce.
Yeah, that is not good. Wiltsey's laying face down on the ground. Trainers are...
Oh, he's getting up.
He's getting up now. Being attended to by Liam Corbell and Rich Horan. Corbell, the athletic trainer. And we will see, he might have gotten shaken up a little bit. Probably going to try to walk it off as best he can. But that's never a good sight when somebody gets hit right there with a baseball. And I believe he's going to stay in the game.
Yeah, he just needed a minute to shake it off.
Yeah, I mean, he was lying straight down in the dirt, and that shows Wiltsey's toughness. It really shows that he's a warrior out there, and man, if he went down, I don't know what I would have had to say, because we've already had Zach Beebe go down with a concussion.
And then we had Caladros out for a while.
Copsetta was out with a strained quad, but he has since returned. By the way, Bryce Dempsey is already warming up for the Green Wave in their bullpen down the third base line, so McCracken may not be throwing too much longer. Here's a fly ball hit out to right. And diving and holding on is Nick Turnage. He rolled over and made the play in right. Take your glove and dip it in gold. That's a web gem right there from Nick Turnage. Beautiful play for the first out. I mean, really, an acrobatic play in right to bring up Scott Lynch for the first out of the inning. Here's a ground ball through the left side, in the left base hit. Going out towards Tedeschi, and that's going to put a runner in scoring position with a slap single by Lynch, bringing up Charlie Grady, the cleanup left fielder. With 2 on, 1 out, Audubon in a prime position to score. In their previous matchup this year, Audubon won 5-4. They had an early start, but Haddonfield clapped back in the early innings, and really innings 3 through 7 were a battle of defenses. Both teams had incredibly good defense and good pitching from Jack Subramanian. And here's a fly ball. That's going to loop out towards right center. That's going to drop, and it's going to go right through the 5-hole of Ross. It'll go all the way out towards Turnage. Scoring is going to be Wiltsey, and it's going to be an RBI double Charlie Grady. 1-0 Audubon. Just an unfortunate bounce there. Really nothing that Ross could have done to get that ball. I mean, he lined up in front of it, and it just bounced right past him. I don't think he was expecting it to take the bounce that it did, but as it went along, just rolled all the way out there, and Grady got 2 bases out of it. So that'll be scored as a single E8 in my book. That may not be how it goes in officially, but Ross pretty upset with himself. He was putting his glove in his hands in his head and just kind of upset about how that play transpired. But 1-0 count to the six-man Trent Bennell. He grounds one out towards short. Picked up, throw to third is not going to be in time. That's going to put runners on the corners. That was a close play, but Bennell's able to move him up. And that did score Zimmer, so it's 2-0. Can you believe we were already at our seventh batter? It's Jack Dempsey. Or no, excuse me. No, our sixth batter, Jack Dempsey. Slavin on deck. I'm about 4 batters behind in my scorecard. And the first pitch from Sammartino is, I believe, a ball. Scoreboard didn't update yet. No, it is a strike. 0-1. Apologies there. Going down to second base uncontested is Bannell, and it's 1-1. Runners on second and third for Audubon here. Well, Griffin Clark is going to go and talk out to Dane Sammartino right here. As it's a 2-1 count. Trying to talk things over. I'm just surprised that, you know what we were talking about? Dane Sammartino having 2 earned runs all season, yep. 0.49 ERA. Audubon just scored 2 runs off of him with 1 out.
You jinxed him. He's going to come looking for you after the game.
2-2. Gave up just 1 versus Gateway, and then 1 versus Northern Burlington, a powerhouse out in Central Jersey. And it's not like he pitched versus relatively bad teams. Held Heights scoreless, held Sterling scoreless, and Sterling has knocked off teams like Paulsboro, and they knocked off Heights. They won decisively against Heights earlier in April with 9-2. The season has been crazier than usual in South Jersey baseball. Count is full to Dempsey. First base is unoccupied. And there's a ground ball, got on top of it, and it's going to trickle through in the left. Picked up by Tedeschi, and scoring is going to be Charlie Grady. 3-0 Green Wave. Really can't believe this. Green Wave have put up a good spot here in the first, up 3-0. Seems like always versus Haddonfield, they get the ball rolling early. And while Haddonfield always has had their number in being able to clap back in the middle innings, it seems like that the Green Wave have been able to put on a hurting so far. Pickoff throw to third, nothing going on there. Joey Slavin up after this RBI single by Dempsey. First pitch, strike 1. Here in Audubon, 81 degrees with wind blowing to the west, which is out to left field. At 11 miles per hour, low humidity, and a really nice day. As the wind blowing really does help, because if there's no wind, then that really doesn't help your case. A pump fake throw to second base is in time. And hesitation on both ends ends up canceling out in favor of Haddonfield as Dempsey is retired trying to steal second. And that was after Griffin Clark pump faked the throw. He got up out of the crouch, pump faked, and then threw it down and still got him by a step. But the 0-2 is a swing and miss. And a huge rebound by Sammartino after allowing 3 runs. They leave a runner on and get that really clutch throw out at second base. So, Haddonfield will look for a little bit of vengeance after 1. It's 3-0 Audubon. Here in the top of the second inning, this broadcast is brought to you in part by DJK Roofing, South Jersey's #1 roofing supplier with over 200 5-star reviews on the web. Get a free quote today by calling DJK Roofing at 856-778-3900. Again, that's 856-778-3900. Audubon gave up nothing in the first, but on the offensive side of the ball got 3 runs home in the bottom half. As leading it off for the Dogs in the top half of the second will be Joey Tedeschi, the left fielder. As we said, Dane Sammartino had 2 earned runs going into this game and allowed 2 of his 3 runs as earned, considering that single E8 in center field, thanks to Adam Ross, was able to drive in a run, and McCracken offers one for a strike, 1-2. 5, 6, and 7 due up for Haddonfield. Tedeschi, Ross, and Declan McCarthy, the DH. There's a swing and a miss. McCracken with the strikeout, and this brings up Adam Ross, the center fielder. Ball 1. Ross batting .237 this year in 2023, 9 for 38, 7 singles, 1 double, 1 triple, 13 walks, in addition to 3 hit by pitches and 4 stolen bases. It's 2-1. Don't forget, folks, Audubon plays Shawnee bright and early at 10 a.m. on Saturday. We'll be there, as there's a fly ball deep to right. That one is going to be a foul ball that's going to roll right past the 320 sign. Mark Wiltsey will go get that one, as the lefty center fielder will look to rip one again. It's 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one was low and inside, and seemed to phase through Zimmer like it was some sort of telekinesis, but it's 3-2. Like, you know, the holograms in Star Wars seem to just phase right through them. 3-2. Ball 4. Oh! I was wondering what the reaction was. He made it halfway up the first base line and he was called out. How about it? Another strikeout for McCracken, bringing up Declan McCarthy. Yeah, I was wondering what the reaction was from Audubon, and then I looked up from my scorecard and he was out. Strike 1 to McCarthy. Number 7 hitter here for Haddonfield in the DH spot. Fly ball to right, a little bit late, and foul. Quickly 0-2 to McCarthy. Outside, 1-2. McCarthy donning the number 54, 6'2" junior, batting .226, 7 for 31, 3 walks. Got one off the hands, and it's a foul ball. 1-2. Audubon leads 3-0 over Haddonfield here in the top of the second inning. 8, 9, and 1 due up for Audubon in the bottom half, starting with Caladros and Copsetta, and back to the top of the order with Wiltsey. On deck for Haddonfield if the inning continues is Griffin Clark, but the inning will not continue. Gabe McCracken strikes out the side, 2 of those 3 down looking. Audubon leads by 3 after 1.5 here in Audubon. Here in the bottom of the second, Green Wave lead 3-zip over the Haddonfield Bulldogs as Nick Caladros is the first man to bat for the Green Wave, as they brought 7 men to the plate in the bottom half of the first, scored 3. But after Dane Sammartino came into this game with 2 earned runs on the mound, he can add another 2 to the ledger in his 2023 campaign. That'll inflate his ERA a little bit. The 0-1 to Caladros is a ground ball to third, goes through Butler Galliera in the left. Tedeschi fields and a leadoff single for Nick Caladros sets the stage for Capseta. Capseta bunts right back to the mound. Throw to first is in time, and the sacrifice is successful, allowing Caladros to advance into scoring position with 1 down for Tyler Wiltsey. As the Green Wave look to pad another on the scoreboard. Fastball kind of fooled Wiltsey a little bit. I don't think he was expecting it. Was a little bit late. 0-1 on the foul ball. Last time Haddonfield played Audubon in Audubon, it was a complete gamer by Jack Subramanian, and it was a 4-2 game in favor of Haddonfield. It was Audubon's first loss of the season. And they had lost twice down in Myrtle Beach that year. They lost 2 out of 5, and then they came back and wouldn't lose again until that Woodstown game. 17 in a row from April 27th to June 1st, went undefeated in the month of May. There's a line drive and the right base hit going to Turnage. The grass is going to stop it. Caladros is going to score, and Wiltsey is in there at second base. RBI double, 4-0. Audubon is really reading Sammartino well. I mean, they are hitting him like no other team in the 6 appearances that Audubon has had, or excuse me, that Sammartino has had. Nobody has been hitting Sammartino as well as the Green Wave have this afternoon. Assistant coach Thomas Goose coming out to talk to his man Sammartino, as we've got a runner on second for Audubon as Caladros scored on Wiltsey's RBI double. And it's 4-0 Audubon.
Just so the superstitious parents at home know, every time he tries to jinx us, I am knocking on the table.
Oh, good grief.
I'm old school. What do you want?
I think that people still believe in superstitions now. I just don't.
I'm just letting them know.
Yeah. Unless the pitcher can directly hear me, I don't believe in them. Like that Rutgers-Camden game, if there was a no-hit bid going on or something like that, I wouldn't have said anything because the people on the field can directly hear me. Chopper, high one out towards the pitcher's mound, and falling is Sammartino, and getting pulled off the bag was, Talty. Sammartino slipped in the grass and couldn't come up with a throw, so that will be an infield single. Wiltsey did not advance past second, so that will put runners on first and second here. Still 1 out. One down, Scott Lynch drove in the first run of the game in just the 3rd batter of the afternoon. And he might drive in another. Here's a ground ball picked up by Parker. Throw to second for 1 on the first is a double play, and Haddonfield gives up 1, but really is able to rebound with a 6-4-3 double play started by Bruce Parker. We go to the 3rd, 4-0 Audubon. Gabe McCracken will look for a little bit more, but you can't get much more after that strikeout of the side. 3 in a row set down for Haddonfield. As McCracken looks to get back to work versus Griffin Clark here, the number 8 hitter for Haddonfield. As they've allowed no runs, but a hit and a walk in the first inning is really all she's written for Haddonfield so far. There's a strike, 0-1. Clark, Leo Nelson, and Ian Talty, the 3 due up here for the Bulldogs in the third. Line drive foul past the first base side. Down and away, 1-2. That one is down, 2-2. McCracken with 3 strikeouts on the afternoon, all of them coming in the second inning and all consecutively. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Make that 4 in a row as Clark is retired. And that brings up Leo Nelson. 1-0 to Nelson. Batting .316 in his sophomore campaign as he fouls one back. 12 for 38 with 5 walks, 1 hit by pitch, and 2 stolen bases, 4 RBIs, 2 of them coming in a 22-4 win over Gateway. And the pitch, foul back, and that's going to make it 1-2. Headed out towards Walnut Street. Yeah, Haddonfield started the season 1-3 with losses to Heights, Audubon, and West Deptford, and an 11-0 win over Sterling. But then they clapped back with 4 wins in a row over Lenape, Robbinsville, Paulsboro, and a decisive one over Gateway. And after that, their only one they've lost since April 14th was a loss 8-5 on the 22nd versus Watchung Hills, which is a team up in North Jersey. But they've won 6 straight, and here's a line drive, high and deep to left, and that's going to get down. It's a fair ball. It's going to roll off the roofing sign, and going to second and holding up there is Leo Nelson. He's got a 1-out double. Nelson with his second extra base hit of the year as the sophomore does the heavy lifting in the bottom of the order for the Bulldogs, bringing us back to the top of the order for Ian Talty. Talty had a slow tapper back to the mound in his first at-bat. Haddonfield's dugout loving the double, but still down by 4. There's a foul ball. Back to the screen, and it's 0-1. So if you want to do the math, I mean, Haddonfield has won 10 out of their last 11 games, and that 3-3 record in the Colonial Liberty Division, all 3 of those losses came before April 13th as McCracken slipped off the mound. That's never a good sign. I mean, San Martino slipped off the mound trying to make a throw to first, and McCracken did the same thing right there. I know it hasn't rained in the last couple of days, not that I know of, so I don't think the ground would be wet.
Well, they wet it down. They wet the ground down before.
Yeah, but I don't think it would have been that bad. Here's a ground ball to third. Caladros picks it up. Throw to first is in time. Nelson holds at second, and there's 2 down, bringing up Bruce Parker, the shortstop.
Last couple games, I've noticed there's more chatter from our guys in the outfield, more communication, and I love to hear that.
I would agree. I mean, Trent Bennell's a very vocal right fielder. He's the kind of guy that is a very good team leader, even as an underclassman. But yes, I have noticed from April, the early parts of the season to today, there has been a big shift in communication. And that's what you need in baseball. You need to be loud. You need to be vocal. You need to tell your guys where they need to be. And, have your players' backs, but let them know when they, did something wrong. And, just tell them you get it next time. Because this team, we've said it in every single interview that we've had after Audubon wins a game. This team has said that the chemistry is better than ever before, better than they've ever noticed in their many, many years of playing together. So these guys, when they are hot, they are hot. You saw what GCIT is going on right now. They've won 6 in a row, and GCIT beat Gloucester Catholic and Kingsway, 2 of the best schools in the state. Let alone in South Jersey. They were some of the top schools in the state, and then GCIT, Gloucester Tech, came around and blew them out of the water. 2 balls, 1 strike to Parker with a runner on second for the Bulldogs after a 1-out double by Leo Nelson. There's a strike. 2-2. And really, Haddonfield has had a very good program this year under the new leadership of Justin Singleton. Bob Bickle was the longtime head coach of Haddonfield, which I got to meet last year. But Singleton's doing a wonderful job in his first year as the leader of the Bulldogs. He's really put himself in a good place where, he's familiar with his guys are familiar with him, and they're able to lead a ball club. Haddonfield went 8-11 last year under Bickle, and under the first year of Singleton, they're already off to an 11-4 start. So it's really been like a 180 turnaround. Here's a fly ball. That is killed out to left, and it is foul. My goodness. Watch out, NASA. That ball might still be in orbit. That's, wow.
Glad it was foul.
Yeah, oh man. That was about 10 feet away from making this a 4-2 ball game.
I was holding my breath as it was going.
Yeah, that was close. Here we go. 3-2 payoff is going to be a pop-up out towards shallow right. Bannell going over. He camps under it and makes the play. To retire the side, we go to the bottom of the third. 4-0. Audubon over Haddonfield. Here in the bottom of the third inning, Audubon has played at 3 in the first and 1 in the second here in what has been an interesting game, to say the least. 4-0 over Haddonfield versus a starter who came into this one with a 0.49 ERA. Charlie Grady takes the first pitch and fouls it back. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Audubon. Grady, Bantle, and Dempsey. Grady came around to score after getting a single E8 that went past center fielder Adam Ross. And it's 1-1. It's 1-2. Grady, one of 3 seniors on the ball club. He's going to take that one upstairs, right at the letters. Tight zone here at home plate today. It's 2-2. Grady batting .431 in his senior year. 6 doubles, 25 for 58 all told. Swing and miss. Clark picks it up, and the throw to first is high, but he gets back down on the bag, and he is retired 1 down. Just the second strikeout for San Martino this afternoon, as this brings up Trent Bennell. Bannell was all junior varsity last year. Didn't play, I think he maybe had 3 at-bats in all of the varsity club last year, but he has really made himself a underrated star on this team. 14 for 35, 13 of them singles, but that 1 double. He's going to loft this one out to right center field and make that hit number 15 for Trent Bannell. He gets aboard. He just knows how to put the ball in the right place at the right time. I mean, that looked like an off-balance swing. And then he just kind of lofts it, and it falls in the right spot. You just go for the right real estate at the right time, and it works out perfectly. So here's Jack Dempsey. He grounded into a fielder's choice his first time. Runner on first for Audubon. 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. Throw back by San Martino, and he is safe. The last week of regular season baseball in South Jersey is coming up soon. The cutoff day is May 19th. Upstairs, 1-0. For the rest of the regular season, we've got Shawnee and Audubon on Saturday. That's in Medford at Shawnee's home ballpark. That's at 10 a.m. Nothing on Sunday because that is Mother's Day. Monday the 15th is going to be Audubon and West Deptford. That has been moved to a 6 p.m. start time, so we're going to get some West Deptford under the lights baseball. As the 1-1 pitch to Dempsey. That one's lined out to right center field. Ross going over. He makes the catch. Bannell's got to go back to the bag, and that throw is high, but it gets down, and Bannell couldn't get back in time. That is an 8-3 double play, and base running bites Audubon in the foot again. We go to the top of the 4th, 4-0 Green Wave. Third time for DWB Trivia Time in the top of the 4th inning here. Today's question is, how many Audubon High School alumni have reached Major League Baseball? The options are 2, 5, 3, and 1. So the answer will be revealed in the bottom of the 4th inning as Haddonfield gets started here versus McCracken, who's out for a 4th inning of work here in some scoreless baseball. Gave up a 1-out double to Leo Nelson in the 3rd, but he did not come around to score, so McCracken still has no earned runs through 16 in the 3rd innings, as that one is down and to the backstop. 1-1.
Bless you.
Excuse me. And that time of year, it's 2-1. Swing and a miss. There's a swing and a miss going down to first. And the throw is in time. Turnage is retired. And with one down for Butler Galliera. McCracken with a half-dozen strikeouts this afternoon, trying to make another one in the books. It's 1-1.
Let's go!
2-1. So again, for the rest of the regular season, Audubon and Shawnee at 10 a.m. on Saturday. On Monday will be Audubon and West Deptford, 6 o'clock start time on the 15th. The 16th, which is Tuesday, will be Buna and Cinnaminson in a DWB feature game and some interleague action between the BCSL and the Cape Atlantic League, two of the top teams in South Jersey. They're going to duke it out. Big thanks to Eric Teasdale for giving me the opportunity. It's going to be 3-1. On Wednesday, the 17th, oh wow, here's a ground ball back to second base, and it trickles into center field. Base hit for Julian Butler Galliera, JBG, and that's going to bring up Joey Tedeschi here as Haddonfield with their first hit since the top of the third and their first single since the first. So we'll have to see what they can get out of this one, as they've had 3 hits through 4 1/3 innings. So we'll see what they can muster. Foul back. 0-1. Throw over. Out of time. Another throw. They want to call a balk, and it will be called. He's done that about 20 times this year, and that's the first time it was called. So either be consistent or don't, but he's done that almost every at-bat, and Haddonfield was just smart enough to call it out. I mean, really, every time that he did that, that should have been a balk, because when you step off the mound and you pump fake, you have to throw the ball. But almost every pitcher doesn't throw it, and nobody calls a balk, except for when Haddonfield called them out on it and they got a balk. So either call it or don't, but don't rely on the other coaches figuring it out for that to be called. So that's going to put a runner on second base here in a 1-1 count. Still McCracken trying to avoid giving up his first earned run of the season. But with a runner in scoring position, the streak is in danger. Here we go, 1-1 to Tedeschi, number 5 hole hitter for Haddonfield. He misses at the breaking ball, 1-2. Audubon leads 4-0 here in the top of the 4th, as McCracken is set, delivers to 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2, and JBG has to trail off of second, but he returns, and it's 2-2. Here we go again, 2-2. From McCracken to Tedeschi. got just a little piece of it. Grounder out towards the middle of the infield. Wiltsey picks it up on the run. The throw is in time. And throwing his helmet is Tedeschi. He was not happy about that one. And Butler Galliera is going to go over to third, bringing up Ross. I think what Tedeschi was trying to do, he was trying to swipe his helmet a little bit, you know, just kind of in frustration and just let go, so it looked like he was in a fit of rage. But that happens. I mean, hey, when you're not happy, you're not happy, you know?
Baseball is a passionate sport.
It is, and you know, if you don't show some emotion, then you're not doing it right, you know? Got to be a little bit expressive in this game. Check swing. And I believe it was a ball 1-0. Waiting for the scoreboard update. Yes, it was a ball 1-0. Yeah, but just didn't get it and a little bit inside. 1-1. If Ross lets the inning continue with 2 down and a runner on third, Declan McCarthy is up next. Yeah, I mean, Wiltsey's been really getting better at defense at shortstop. He's had himself a good day so far. Here's a pop-up. Back behind the plate, Zimmer makes the catch. He doesn't do that every day, just doesn't place itself in the right spot, but he was able to bring it down and the inning is over. Haddonfield strands a runner on third. It's 4-0 Green Wave going to the bottom of the fourth. Here for trivia time in the bottom of the fourth inning as the Green Wave lead 4-0. Today's question is, how many Audubon High School alums have reached Major League Baseball? Is it 2, 5, 3, or 1? We'll reveal the correct answer, which, if you know anything about Audubon, should be 2. Brett Laxton and Bill Laxton. Yes, the Laxton father and son combination. We'll go back to the main board as it's 0-1 to Slavin. I think most Audubon baseball fans would probably know that fact, but it's hard to know. I mean, 8 state titles and we've got 2 major leaguers, you know, but...
Didn't you get an autograph from Laxton?
From both of them,
yeah?
Yes. Bill lives in town, but Brett lives down in Louisiana. He works with Marucci bats. In fact, Rich Horan, his green, I don't know if you can see it, but the green bat that he's actually holding in his hands, that was a custom-made wooden bat because his old fungo bat that he had for over 20 years had broken last year. So because Laxton is like an executive over at Marucci, they actually had him a custom-made bat with his name on it for Rich Horan or Coach Horan or something like that, because Laxton was there when Rich was coaching, helped them win some state titles in the early 90s, helped win LSU win a state title, not a state title, excuse me, the College World Series in 1993, along with Todd Walker, the former St. Louis Cardinals third baseman. Again, a Hall of Very Good kind of guy.
Yeah.
Todd Zeal as well, another member of that 93 LSU team. And then he had a short stint in the big leagues with the Oakland A's in 2000 and with the Kansas City Royals in 2001.
It's always good when people remember where they came from and appreciate the people who got them there.
Right, 1 and 2. To Caladros with 1 away after the Slavin strikeout to lead off the first. Excuse me, the fourth. What was I saying?
You said first.
Oh boy.
You're
Going back in time.
Yeah.
That's
Get the
upstairs.
DeLorean.
3-2. I don't know. I feel like anybody could drive a DeLorean because you go on 295, everybody's going 88 miles an hour or more. Go in the left lane, feels like you're being persecuted. I gotta get out of here. Caladro swings and misses, count is full. San Martino's still out there with a couple of strikeouts before runs allowed, and he's got another 2 down. And here's Charlie Copsetta. Two outs, back-to-back strikeouts for San Martino. He's got a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4 this afternoon. 2 of those coming consecutively. There's a ball, 1-0. Foul tip, 1-1. Another swing and miss, 1 and 2. Strike 3, and San Martino living in the moment, celebrating all over the mound, and he'll be joined by his teammates in the dugout. Audubon still leads by 4 after 4. Here in the top of the 5th inning, Audubon leads 4-0 over the Haddonfield Bulldogs. It's been a good one for the Green Wave today, as they have had an excellent pitching performance so far from Gabe McCracken. He has thrown 4 shutout innings and has had a half-dozen strikeouts and then some. As Audubon will look to hold down the fort for another 9 outs as we are in the second half of this one. Trent Bell. Yes, sir. Oh, boy. Sounded like an Army commander. It's 1-1. As Audubon went down 1-2-3 in the 4th, Declan McCarthy takes the ball, 2-1. Ground ball out, diving is Wiltsey, not going to get there. Base hit to left. And McCarthy Here's the board here. Runner on first for Haddonfield. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Paroli's Printing and Bantles, Banners, Signs, and Apparel. The true one-stop shop for all your print and promotional needs with a 5-star Google rating. Over 50 years in business, handling any ink-on-paper project as well as banners, signs, apparel, and promotional swag. First pitch to Griffin Clark. He'll take it away. 1-0. Clark struck out, swinging in his first at-bat in third. Clark followed by Leo Nelson, who had a double back in the third. One of the closest shots Haddonfield has had yet to scoring, but really haven't made anything of it. Butler Galliera got all the way to third thanks to a single, a balk, and a ground out that advanced the runner. But alas, he did not come around. 1-1 to Clark. Swing and a miss. 1-2. McCracken deals again. Foul back. In the dirt, holding it first is McCarthy. It's going to be 3-2. One of the first full counts that McCracken has had all day. He is, he's maybe been down a little bit, but really hasn't worked that many counts full.
You don't have too many pitchers that go into the fifth, so you might be just getting tired.
Could be, but that swing and a miss doesn't really show it if there's a swing and a miss. Clark down on strikes. There's one down. Makes it 7 strikeouts for McCracken. He went into this inning with 73 pitches, probably approaching 80 or 85 now. So with the New Jersey pitch limit being 110, he'll have to reevaluate how he goes going forward. I mean, he's gotten into enough good counts to where, it's not like what Audubon was doing in the first inning where, here we go, ground ball out to third, picked up, throw across, and Caladros makes a beautiful play for out number 2. So Nelson is retired, bringing up Ian Tulty. Runner on second here for Haddonfield is back to the top of the order, Ian Tulty. Dish. So the incredible thing is that going into the fifth, Gabe McCracken had 73 pitches. Dane Sammartino only had 52, despite giving up 4 more runs. So Audubon was also hitting the ball a lot earlier. First or second pitch, they were always swinging at it and really showed how the pitch count was working, even though that Haddonfield had 4 runs given up. Their starting pitcher threw 20 fewer pitches. 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. McCarthy in scoring position for the Bulldogs. Here's a fly ball to right, and Bantle makes the catch on the liner, and that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Green Wave still rolling strong. 4-0, Audubon. Bottom of the fifth, Audubon leads 4-0 over the Haddonfield Bulldogs as Tyler Wiltsey leads it off for the Green Wave. Here in the fifth.
We're only at an hour 13.
Moving quickly. 4 now, that is. And those last 2 innings are always the slowest ones to get through. There's a strike, 1-1. One, two. Swing and a miss. San Martino with a strikeout, and Wiltsey is retired, 1 away to lead off the fifth. Here's a fly ball, or rather a ground ball. And that'll be taken in at first, 2 down. Completely lost track of that ball as soon as it hit the bat. But Lynch is up, 2 down. Went straight to the backstop. 1-0. Audubon's dugout loving it.
They're fired up.
They are fired up. Can't get enough of it.
Nothing wrong with it.
Here's a fly ball out to deep left center field, and it is over the head of both the left and center fielders. To the wall, Lynch not stopping, going for third, and his destination is safe. 2-out triple, Scott Lynch. He ripped that one in the left center field gap. Fundamental hitting right there, and his wheels that I didn't know he had got him all the way to third base. His first triple of his senior campaign. And this brings up Charlie Grady. Here comes Justin Singleton, and after about 60 pitches, Dane Sammartino, I believe, is done. But maybe not yet, because Singleton is out, but I think they're just going for the ultimatum here. You know, either get out of this inning or get out of the ball game kind of thing. But Sammartino getting back to work. Needs 1 more out to prevent Lynch from scoring. But here we go. Here we go, 2 outs, runner on third. Sammartino facing Charlie Grady. 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Audubon hasn't scored since the second. They need some insurance runs depending on how this bullpen goes. Up and in. Sammartino was jumping off the mound expecting a strike, but just a little off. 1-2. Line drive, center field, base hit. It drops in front of Ross, 5-0 Audubon. So an RBI single, Charlie Grady. And the Green Wave are going to be up by 5 here in the 5th. There's a strike. Bantle attempted to sacrifice bunt with 2 down, but that's more of a safety squeeze with 2 outs. Can't really sacrifice with 2 outs. Throw to first. Not in time. Chops it foul. 0-2. After this would be Jack Dempsey, 5th batter of the inning for Audubon. They've scored 1, their first run since the 2nd inning. Here we go. 0-2. Outside, 1-2. Bantle lines one, past third, and the left base hit. Falls in front of Tedeschi. Grady moves to second. Bantle at first. And Sammartino continues to get hit after hit off him, and we are going to have a pitching change here. Sammartino is done after 4 2/3 innings. Justin Singleton talking to him now. We'll see who they bring in here. So he'll clap around the infield. Sammartino's out. 4 2/3. 5 runs allowed. And we are going to get a Pearlie's printing pitching change here. We'll go to a quick break. Declan McCarthy, the DH, moves from the dugout to the mound. We'll be right back after this. Pearlie's printing pitching change here in the bottom of the 5th. Dane Sammartino gave up 5 runs over 4 2/3, but his offense didn't really back him up. And that's where we stand right now. Audubon leads 5-0 over the Haddonfield Bulldogs. As Jack Dempsey is at the plate here with 2 on, as the Submariner gives himself a first pitch strike, 0-1. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Pearlie's Printing and Bantle's Banners, Signs, and Apparel, the true one-stop shop for all your print and promotional needs with a 5-star Google rating. If you need graduation, lawn signs and banners, flyers, A-frames, business cards, or envelopes done right, this is the place for you. Foul ball off the bat of Dempsey, and it's 0-2. Dempsey pops it up, shallow left. Tedeschi going over. That'll be a foul ball over towards the lawn chairs. Seems like the Green Wave have adopted this new tradition of whenever a starting pitcher gets taken out of the game, if they didn't do so hot, they play that one song from the mid-2000s, You Had a Bad Day. And I personally don't care for it because I think it's a little bit classless, but that's just me. Pop up right center field. Ross going over. He makes the catch, inning over. We've got 2 more to play. 5-0 Green Wave after 5. Please. Here we go, top of the 6th. Audubon leads 5-0. They forced Sammartino out of the game after 4 2/3, and now McCracken's got more work to do coming into this inning with 84 pitches under his belt. And the first pitch is a strike, 0-1. Here's a fly ball and a liner caught by Wiltsey. 1 down. Turnage now coming up here. Six men came to the plate for Audubon in the bottom of the 5th. 7, 8, and 9 due up for them. Turnage takes a ball, 1-0. There's another strike. 1-1. Turnage 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout so far. And he's gonna airlift this one foul. 1-2. Got a piece of it, and it's going to trickle foul. One, two. That's up high, 2-2. Ground ball up the middle. Wiltsey can't get there, and a base hit for Turnage. His second of the day brings up JBG, Julian Butler Galliera. Runner on first, 1 down, as the cleanup man for Haddonfield offers a foul ball. 0-1. 5-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. And it's 84 pitches going into this 6th for Gabe McCracken, his longest outing of the year. And again, his first start since April of 2022, 13 months ago.
Come on, Gabe, let's go!
And really he's really been showing why he is such an incredible pitcher. And you know, he was getting starts at third base, and he was getting, you know, stuff all the way up there, but once he showed his true potential on the mound as an improvement, it's a vast improvement from his freshman year. It has made it incredibly more pertinent that he has made his craft so good. 2-1 to Butler Galliera. Fly ball. Foul. Taking a couple hops down there. Charlie's got that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Julian Butler Galliera. After this will be Tedeschi and then Ross for Haddonfield. Outside. 3-2.
Yeah, strike him out, throw him out!
7 strikeouts for McCracken.
Come on, Gabe!
And 5 hits allowed. Here's a fly ball, deep left center field. Copsetta going back, he's got it on the back track. Going back to first is Turnage, and there's 2 down. That's why Copsetta's in center field and not in the corners. He's really able to track down those baseballs well. He's got an elite eye for being able to see the baseball and really just tracks it down like a mad dog, as the fly out to center brings up Joey Tedeschi, who's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out in this one. Takes the first pitch away. Zimmer smothers it in the dirt. 1-0. Floater, center field. That one is caught by McCracken, by Copsetta, and the inning is over. 6 scoreless for McCracken. We've got another inning to play. 5-0 Audubon. Bottom of the 6th inning. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Gennaro Furness, Rodan and Fields, independent consultant. Check out our Facebook page for more information, deals, and sales. Joey Slavin facing the right-hander Declan McCarthy, the side armor submariner for the Bulldawgs. Down and away, 2-0. I mean, these guys aren't very much used to submarine pitchers. They're more used to the 3/4 and the over-the-top guys and everything like that. They just, you know, they kind of do it in their own way. 2-1 to Slavin. 7, 8, and 9. Slavin, Caladros, and Copsetta do up for the Green Wave. As here's a ground ball out to Parker, and throw to first is in time. Sorry, I couldn't keep track of that ball. One away for McCarthy as this brings up Caladros. And there's our good buddy Dominic Perry down there with Steve Bellis. Great turnout here tonight, or this afternoon. Thursday afternoon baseball. Bit of a hot one, but still worth it for all involved. Gonna make that one 1-1. Takes one in, 2-1. That one hit him. So a hit by pitch. Caladros almost looked like he leaned into that one. He turned his back, but tough call. He'll be getting a free trip to first, though. Here is Copsetta. Copsetta gets a piece of it. It's 0-1. For the rest of the regular season, Audubon plays Shawnee on Saturday at 10 a.m. They play West Deptford on the road on Monday at 6 p.m. They play Haddon Heights right here for the last regular season home game on Wednesday at 3:45, and then they close out the season, the regular season, in Sterling, 3:45 on Thursday, the 18th. 0-2 to Copsetta. One down and a runner on first. A swing and a miss. First strikeout for McCarthy, and this brings up Tyler Wiltsey back at the top of the order. Wiltsey 1 for 2, a walk, a double, and a strikeout in this one. Swing and a miss. 0-1. No action in the Green Wave bullpen. It looks like on my end that I can't see how many pitches McCracken is at. Can't see because of the sun glare. That one's in the dirt. Caladros is going to go down to second base. Clark tripped up a little bit, and he'll get down there. This would be an opportune time to check. I think that says 100 right there, right on the dot. He's got 100 pitches. So whether he finishes the game or not, he would have to do it in 10 pitches or less, or else he'd have to finish out the batter and be taken out of the game. But maybe Bryce Dempsey closes it out, maybe Caladros closes it out, but if they were with 2 outs, I wouldn't expect... Okay, here we go. Well, speaking of Caladros, they're going to put Jason Stocklin on second base, probably meaning that Caladros is going to pitch the 7th. I would imagine that's the case. Here we go. 2-1 pitch, ground ball, foul ball, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Stocklin on second base. Foul ball. I don't know where that hit. Two and two. And a ground ball foul again. Fly ball to right. Turnage is there, and the inning is over. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Gabe McCracken needs 3 more, but I think that Nick Caladros, and yes, he will close it out. Nick Caladros will close it out. 5-0 Green Wave going to the 7th. DWB Mobile's got a new, look at that. Right above the rear window, you can see it right there. I think you can see the impression in the back. As Caladros.
That's how they're going to do it?
Yeah. Tyler Weltsy, expect a bill in your mailbox coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I had saw... Sorry, I'm out of breath because I was running over there because I thought it hit our car. It's 1-1.
And it did.
It did. To Adam Ross.
Maybe next time we should move the car.
Yes. Well, you also have to walk there and, you know.
No, drop me off and move the car.
There you go.
We got 1 week left.
2-1. As there's a fly ball by Ross out to Copsetta. Grady calls for it and makes the catch. By the way, my assumptions were wrong. Bryce Dempsey is the new pitcher, and a Parolee's printing pitching change. He's closing it out here in the 7th. And he will face Declan McCarthy. No, excuse me, that is number 20, who is a pinch hitter for McCarthy, which is Matt LaPresido. Here's a ground ball to Wiltsey. Throw across in time. 2 down. Audubon 1 out away. If they win this one, they'll improve to 15-5. If Haddonfield loses, they'll fall to 11-5. That one is away to Griffin Clark, the catcher here for Haddonfield. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, 10 a.m. versus Shawnee. Here's a fly ball, shallow right field. Bannell going over, and it is a foul ball. Haddonfield down to their last strike. No, excuse me, it's 1-1. Getting a little too excited there.
Getting a little ahead of yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I did have to sprint down and back. That's like running a marathon for me.
I'm so glad the glass wasn't broken.
Yeah, well, I saw that there was, it looked like the glass had been shattered in the front, but it was the gray, like, A-post on the car.
Oh, okay.
That made it look like shattered glass from the angle that we're at. 2-1. If Audubon hangs on in a 5-0 game, stay tuned for the DWB postgame show presented by Doug Does Anything for the player that can do anything. A foul ball, and it's 0-2.
I don't know who the player of the game.
It would be Gabe McCracken.
Absolutely.
If we can get him for an interview. 6 shutout innings and 7 strikeouts of the Bulldogs. Bryce Dempsey holding down the fort for the last 3. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 15 wins for Audubon. And Bryce Dempsey shuts the door, slams it shut, and shuts out Haddonfield 5-0. Audubon sweeps Haddonfield in their season series, beating them 5-4 in the first week of April and blanking them 5-0 thanks to a huge performance by our Doug Does Anything player of the game, Gabe McCracken. 7 strikeouts, 6 shutout innings, only allowing a handful of hits and a heck of a lot of fun baseball. Folks, we're going to be right back in just a minute with the DWB postgame show brought to you by Doug Does Anything once we get everything settled down, and we'll see if we can get the Pep Boys after this one. 5-0 Audubon. We'll be right back after this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our DWB post-game show for the player of the game, presented by Doug Does Anything, a handyman for the player that can do anything. Today's player of the game, Gabe McCracken, 6 shutout innings and a huge win over Haddonfield, 19 straight shutout innings, ERA of 0, 7 strikeouts. Beautiful day today for a beautiful performance. How'd you feel out there?
Once I get ahead, I mean, really, once I get in my groove, no one's really stopping me. I mean, looking up at the board, seeing the zeros, really good confidence out there. Especially striking out the side, that was a really good boost. Yeah, great defense behind me, so yeah.
I mean, Haddonfield's a good team, 11-5, and they were 3rd in the conference going into today. Haddon Heights was 1st, Audubon was 2nd. This was a huge win for the team. How did you feel your contributions helped out there, holding Haddonfield's offense to 0 runs while your guys' offense put up 5 on the board, 4 in the first 2 innings? How did you feel that cushion was helping you going into the 3rd with a 4-run lead?
Feels really good. I mean, like a young team like us, you wouldn't really expect much out of us this year, losing 12 seniors, but I mean, it really shows we can do basically anything we put in mind. So.
And that's what Nick Caladros was saying in our West Deptford interview in that 4-1 win back in April. One of the things that he was saying was very similar to what you said, where it sounds cocky on the surface, but when you look down deeper into it, it's just a mindset thing. When you have that confidence to know, I can strike this guy out, I can get him to, ground into a double play or anything like that. This was huge for you to be able to step in your first start on the mound in 13 months and dominate in the way that you did. And considering that Audubon is bouncing back after a loss to Paulsboro, which was Audubon's first loss versus the Red Raiders in over 15 years, this is a huge bounce back win. There's a week left in the regular season. Where do you see your guys headed in the next week?
I see our guys beating Shawnee. Really, we just had a bad game against Paulsboro.
Everybody's got bad games.
Again.
Everybody's got bad games.
Yeah, once we get in our groove, really, I don't think anyone's gonna stop us. We have Wiltzies. Our first 3 line have been doing really good this week. Yeah, really good performance and defense, everything. Really, yeah.
And one of the things that I noticed was that, your fastball looked a little bit slower in your freshman year, and then this year, as a sophomore, you have ramped it up into the lower mid-80s and have really even competed with guys like Scott Lynch out there for the fastest fastball on the team. Did you do anything specific over the offseason besides the basic training to help increase that velo?
I mean, I think it was me growing, plus just me genetically, and summer baseball helps a lot. So I'd recommend playing summer baseball, but yeah, seeing pitching coaches, that'll help. Anything.
Yeah, and getting that velocity up really helped today, which is what made that performance so special, is seeing your growth from, a lanky little freshman who gave up 2 runs versus Collingswood in 2 innings to having 6 shutout innings today versus one of the top teams in the conference. Thanks, Gabe, for a great interview. We got ourselves a wonderful win here today. And 5-0 is the final between Audubon and Haddonfield. The Green Wave improved to 15-5 in the 2023 campaign, and the Haddonfield Bulldawgs fall to 11-5 in their 2023 season. Folks, we'll see you again Saturday at 10 a.m. bright and early for Shawnee as the Green Wave play the Renegades, one of the top teams in the state, on Saturday in Medford. From everybody here at our Dan Wilkins broadcasting crew, my graphics crew Gavin Van Rel and Caleb Lane, my producer Donna Wilkins, and myself, Dan Wilkins. 5-0. Audubon beats Haddonfield in 7 innings, thanks to a good 6-inning shutout by Gabe McCracken, and then the 3 last batters slammed shut by Bryce Dempsey out of the bullpen. Good night, everybody. We'll see you Saturday.